Russell T Davies' return to Doctor Who was supposed to be a revival, a chance to bring the show back from the brink after years of declining quality. But instead of a glorious comeback, what we've gotten is a perfect example of what happens when you let woke ideology take the wheel of a beloved franchise. The show is teetering on the edge, and even Davies himself isn't sure about its future. That's not a good sign for a series that once stood as a giant in the world of sci-fi television. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Demon, and today we're dissecting Russell T Davies' disastrous return to Doctor Who and how the show's obsession with wokeness is driving it straight into the ground. Let's get one thing straight. Doctor Who has always been about change. New doctors, new companions, new monsters. It's what kept the show fresh for decades, but there's a difference between evolving with the times and shoving a politically correct agenda down the throats of your audience. Davies' return to Doctor Who has been nothing short of a pandering mess, catering to the Twitter mob rather than the millions of fans who've been loyal to the show for years. Take the casting of Ncuti Gatwa as the next Doctor. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, this isn't about his race. It's about the fact that Gatwa is clearly being used as a checkbox to tick off diversity points. The focus has been less on his acting chops and more on how groundbreaking it is to have a black Doctor. But here's the thing, the Doctor is an alien with multiple lives, who could and should be judged by the quality of the actor's performance, not the color of their skin. Gatwa might be a fine actor, but the marketing around his casting reeks of desperation, trying to placate the woke brigade, rather than choosing someone who can truly bring something unique to the role. And then there's the upcoming season. From what we've seen, it's clear that the show is doubling down on its new agenda. We're getting more preachy storylines, more token representation, and less of what made Doctor Who great in the first place. Imaginative storytelling, compelling villains, and a sense of wonder and adventure. Instead, the TARDIS is becoming a vehicle for virtue signaling, with each episode trying to outdo the last in how progressive it can be. Russell T Davies was once a master of blending social commentary with engaging stories. Back in his original run, he tackled important issues without beating the audience over the head with them. But now, it's like the stories have taken a back seat to the message, and the show is suffering because of it. Fans aren't tuning in to be lectured. They want escapism, they want excitement, they want the Doctor who they fell in love with. And the ratings reflect that disappointment. Even Davies himself seems uncertain about the future of Doctor Who, and that's telling. If the man who revived the show in 2005 doesn't have confidence in where it's headed, why should the rest of us? The series is in a precarious position, and unless there's a drastic course correction, it's hard to see it surviving much longer. The show's obsession with wokeness is alienating its core audience, and the chances of renewal look slimmer by the day. It's sad to see Doctor Who reduced to this, a show that once stood as a cultural icon, now floundering under the weight of its own misplaced priorities. Instead of focusing on what made the series great, Davies has chosen to turn it into a soapbox for the latest social justice causes. And in doing so, he's driving the show straight into the ground. I'm Snake Demon, and this has been the Snake Pit. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where I won't read them.